alignment. I'm talking fast cast flights, deep talks on the plane. Money working for me, no more stressing, no more chains. I'm still Harlem at the heart, I never lost my roots. I just traded in some Timbs for some tailored suits. I'm still loyal to the grind and I still speak my truth. I'm still betting on myself and I'm still raising my youth. I'm dueling my spirit and I balance it all. I'm soft when I love, but I'm savage when they call. See, freedom ain't luck, it's structure and faith. It's a discipline to build what they say that you can't make. Yeah, I'm chilling with a palm sway, dream bigger every calm day. If you knew what I've been through, you'd pray my way. Everybody type SB in the chat. It's a serious business. So we're gonna put on our serious minds and get focused on the structure. I'm excited because for every class, I don't know, I just love when people light bulbs go off and be like, yes, that makes sense. You know, it makes sense. I get so excited. So we went over the anatomy of the Hakanashi candles, right? Hopefully everybody knows open, close, high and low. Hopefully you've been studying it. Hopefully you drew it in your notebook. I will say, as an educator, I'm a little slightly disappointed. I don't, I haven't seen enough charts. I ain't seen them. So I would have to just guess. I have to guess that the masses did their work. That's the only thing I can assume. For the people who actually did it, shout out to y'all, right? But you just want to be mindful that you probably may have came from a place where nobody cared if you got the work right, right? Or you came from a place where you didn't even know you should be having somebody look at your work, right? So just remember, in the meantime, you could even drop two charts, one chart and be like, Tom attacking it. I'm waiting on the website, but you see me working. You could even do your homework, post a story and tag me in it and be like, yo, I'm getting my homework in. I'm in the trenches. Type of three if it makes sense. Some way to let me know that you putting in the work because only thing I'm gonna figure out is that I see you come to the call. That's it. All right. You don't want to be that person that only show up when things is not going right. You should show up in the middle too. The whole journey is important. Because if you ask me a question and I say, hey, did you do that homework? Let me see it. And then you disappear. I'm like, now they disappeared. What happened? They was just complaining a second ago and I asked them about that homework because then that would show me, hey, that's probably why it's not connecting yet because you ain't really do the work. Type of two, if that makes sense. Right? You got to be careful. You don't really want to be that person. You don't really want to be that person. Right? That's just being honest and real because a lot of times people who kind of look for all the things that don't work, that's all they're gonna keep finding. I hope that makes sense. Right? This is not an easy journey. It's not easy. You can make it harder on yourself though. So you want to be mindful and actually put the work in. Remember my motto from last class, learn a little bit, apply a lot. That I promise you, it's gonna help your progress go so much faster if you really try to take notes, apply in the charts, ask questions, right? Market structure refers to swing highs and swing lows, locating supply and demand, basically your overall market conditions, right? You want to know, hey, am I going up? Am I going down? Or is this the moment to not do anything? And I'm just going to be honest with you. A lot of the times it's a moment not to do anything, right? Sometimes it is a lot of the waiting game, right? But when we win and execute, it's so beautiful, especially if we have proper risk management. So the first thing we want to do is we have to be able to read the market structure. So I think everybody understands the market pretty much moves in three type of directions, right? We have the uptrend, we have the downtrend, and then we have a period where it's not really going any direction. Let me know if y'all can see it on the chart. Does it make sense? Right? We can clearly see this is an uptrend. We're getting higher highs, higher lows, downtrend, lower lows, lower highs. Now this section is like we got equal lows, but then we got higher highs, but then we got a lower low, but then we got kind of like an equal high, but it didn't go higher. But then we kind of don't have a lower low because it didn't go lower, but it's equal to this level, right? Confusion, no direction. Type of two, if you can see it, it's no direction. So when you go to a market and it looks like this, it's not one to trade, right? You want to find a market that looks like this or like this. Now, for you guys that's starting to train your eyes on the ABCs, can you tell me out of which of these three moves can you see the ABCs? Where can you see it? Right, without any notes, where can you see it? Bianca says downtrend, downtrend and uptrend. Yes, correct. Is there an ABC with inside that consolidation? I'm getting some yeses. What if I told y'all the answer is no? What if I told you the answer is no? It's not a yes. It is a no. I'm gonna tell you why it's a no. Certain things qualify for an ABC. And this is what sometimes messes people up. At ABC, a downtrend version must have a swing low. It must come back and it must break the previous low. Bang. Official ABC is telling me the trend. So what happened down here? All right, this was a nice big swing. It came back. Did it break structure to give us direction? No, it failed. This one pushed up. When it came back down, it broke. It didn't continue up to give us this move, right? There is no ABC in there, right? ABC says, hey, I must keep breaking structure in the same direction. Let me know if you see it now. Do you understand the rules? We get the rules? Let me know. If you don't get it, it's a good time to tell me. Yes? All right. Market structure has four main pieces. All right, we're going to call it the puzzle piece. Now, for newbies who's really first time learning about structure, or maybe it's been a while for you to deep dive into structure, I want you to draw out these four pieces on your notebook once a day for the next 30 days. You might say, Todd, that's a lot. But if you want to accelerate your learning curve, I promise you this stuff works. My mentor used to make me do it, and it sped up my learning curve. It sped it up tremendously. So if I was you, I would draw it out on it. Now this is a piece of paper. I would even suggest using some pencil, some color pencils. Okay. So I'm gonna show it on the next screen, and you want to make sure you draw this out in your notebook. So I'll put you up to that challenge for yourself. And when I get to the picture, I'm gonna show you, okay? But this is not it. Right now, we're gonna break down the concept. An uptrend. Uptrend contains a higher high, a higher low, and a break of structure. This is the first stage of you really understanding structure. Now, understand you cannot have a new higher low until you actually have a higher high. I want you to understand what I just said. In the beginning, we only get a low and a high. We don't know which direction it wants to go. It's stuck, right? We have no idea where it wants to go. And then price starts retracing. We have no idea where the new low is. We have no clue until we break and make a new high. We have to have a new high to identify the new higher low. Let me know if that makes sense. Without it, this is still going to be the low, right? Right now, anything in between this low and high is a trap. We need price to break the structure, right? That's why I'm pointing to the future because we're concerned, we're using the past to help us facilitate through the future. Now, once this happens and we have a low, a high, a higher low, and a higher high, right? Because sometimes this is what people do. They'll do this and price will be like this, and they'll say, oh, this is the new higher low because it's higher than this low. Type of one, if that makes sense. Let me know if you do that, right? You're like, oh, okay, well, here's the new higher low. It's higher than this one. It's not valid. It's a trap. It's a little trap, right? The true low and the true high. Structure is about the swing low and the swing high, not the stuff that happens in between, right? There's a lot of things that happen in between. They don't matter. We only going to be able to classify it until it breaks structure. Type of one, if that makes sense, right? Don't set yourself up for failure. Be patient. So now that that happened, we have a new higher high, and now we have a new higher low. So where is the focal point? This phase, because now it has to retrace and do the same thing over. Do we know where the new low is? Or now is this the new low? Let me know in the chat. Can we claim this to be the new low at any point as we retrace back? Sean says no. Ta says no. Shawnee says no. I don't see enough answers in the chat. What's the answer, right? It should be no. When can we classify that this is a true higher low? When can we classify it's a true higher low? So once we get the new breaker structure, it's a must. Now we know where the new control center is. I call this the brick wall. We will stay in the buy mode until we break one of these brick walls. Does that make sense? Until we break below one of these brick walls, we're going to keep going up. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep going up. And we're not going to get stuck in this phase when they come back down. We're not going to jump early, right? But we at least need one of these to happen before we can start to trade. Now, that's the part that's super important. Before we can start the trade, we need at least one of these moves to happen. Can you see that this is the 0, the A? We know it's a B because we have the C. So now we have one full cycle that we can say, yes, we can start to buy. We can start looking for buys. Let me know if it makes sense. I need this whole move to happen so I can be sure, okay, they want to buy today. I see it. I just now have to wait for them to come back to a sound spot so I can continue to buy with them. Because we have to understand in the uptrend, your highs are actually weak, right? This is weak. So if your highs are weak, what's strong? Right? If your higher highs are weak, what is strong? What is strong? I mean, what is strong? The lows. These are going to be strong, right? These are going to be strong. So when we come back down there, right, within that area, we should be able to know when we get our buy, it's going to be strong. So when we have our stop losses under these areas, when we're looking to go up and break each week high, they come back, stop loss underneath. We look to break the week high. They come back, stop loss underneath. We look to break the week high. Type of two if it makes sense. But you got to be patient to wait for this whole thing to form. And guess what? You just got to go find a pair where it has formed already. It's even better if it's formed and you see price back at the base. Because if you come to trade and you see this happen and you're at the base, what does that mean for you? It's almost time to do what? What that mean for you? It's almost time to do what? I see it get in. I see it enter, prep enter, take the trade, get in. Yes. We just got to wait for our confirmations, right? What characteristics determines a weak high? The fact that we keep breaking it. This was the first characteristic. We had a low, we had a high. Price set, boop. Forget you. You ain't strong. We strong down here. So we got to kind of take a guess that, you know what? You probably weak too. You probably weak too. And then when they come back, we know this is strong. And we like, hey, we going to aim for you because we know you weak. And boom, we break it. And as long as we keep breaking above, they weak until we break somebody below. Then the game has shifted. Let me know if it makes sense. Then the game has shifted. Now we got to switch it up. Now we got to wait. Because guess what? At some point, that beautiful uptrend is going to turn into something else to let you know, hey, they probably not weak no more. It's going to give you a little sign, right? It's going to give you a little sign. So let's look at the downtrend, same perspective, right? Great question. Same perspective, right? Thinking about it on the downtrend, how do we know what level was weak? If we had to take a guess and look at this picture, which level was weak? So it looked like the high was weak or the lows was weak, right? Because we keep breaking through those things. So when we did the first one, like, as long as they don't break what's up above from where we broke last, then we still strong going down. As long as they don't break the last place where we broke, then we still going down. Let me know if it makes sense. So if you had to guess right now, do you think the lower high is weak or do you think this lower low is weak? Which one is probably weak? The lower low. Now I want to go back a page. Now, come back up here. This higher high. Is there a break of structure here? Is there a break of structure here? I see a couple no's. All right, no, not yet. We ain't break it. It's just a high. The last place that got broke is here. So that means there's no break of structure here yet, right? It's just the last low, right? And we kind of have an idea who is weak and who is strong. So if I know the last person is weak, I know that that's going to be who I have to get past to change the direction of the trend. So if I know where the change needs to happen, so when the banks actually do it, I can be prepared. Let me know if that makes sense. So if I look at this chart, we have three areas, right? We have this high, this last high, and this last high. Which one do we need to break past to change the trend? Which one will get us to say, hey, the buyers just took over this trend? Yes, the first one. Perfect. First one. Good job. That's some fine in the chat for yourselves. All right. Now we get into the next part. Head and shoulder patterns. This is super important to learn. Why are they important? Well, they help you identify a shift in the market. Now, you guys need to understand, you need to know the shift for different reasons. You need to know the shift just in case you're in the trade going in that direction. and it's about to switch on you and you need to get out. You need to know a shift is about to happen because when a shift happens, that is the ultimate best time to catch the trade. Because if you're at the shift, that means you're either at the very, very bottom or the very, very top. And you know that's our favorite spot to get in the trade. I just love it. Type of one, if it makes sense. So if a shift is happening and you're not in the trade, that also will let you know it's time to pause and be patient. So it helps you on all sides. So that's why it's so important. Now, the head and shoulder patterns include a breaker structure. Right, we went over the breaker structure. It just keeps breaking up in the same direction. That means the trend is continuing. But when the change of character shows up and we just label it CHOCH, right, that means the shift has happened and it's time to reassess the trend you're in, the trade you're in, or the trade you're about to get into. It also will help you understand, hey, should I be holding this trade or should I be getting out of the trade? Is this going to be a pip and dip trade or is this going to be one I need to hold through the breaks? All right. I know the nerds was asking about that today. Man, when do I hold? When do I get out? I'd be like, oh, look at that alignment. They don't even know what we're going to learn tonight. But that's what we're going to go over. It's going to help you, right? It's going to help you. So this is the head and shoulder pattern. This pattern is so important because this pattern has two ABCs. They're like reflecting each other. It's like a mirror image. Can you see the two ABCs? Can you see the up ABC and can you see the down ABC? All right. How about y'all mark it on a chart? Let's see what that looks like. Let's see if we could move like a tribe of 33 people and mark up the ABC. All right, let's go. So I'm talking about, yeah, perfect. Perfect. So you got to be able to notate when that switch happens. You got to be like, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm up, I'm in buys. I just took that last B to C, and guess what? Great job, y'all. Y'all got it. If I was in this buy, right? Boom, price was coming down. We get our change and we in the buy. We in the buy. We in the buy. First of all, we should be out once we have this higher high, right? Stop loss was here. Boom, we broke the week high. We should be out of this trade. Type of one, if it makes sense. We, anyway, should be out of this trade at this point because we know the way structure works. After we break structure, that ABC cycle start all over and what's next? This B to C just turned into a what? A 0 to A. It just expanded and broke. So if I don't get out, how do you know when the higher high when you get out is made? How do you know when the higher high? Then you got to ask me, ask that question one more time, King. One more time. You can even say it out loud. That's okay. You can take yourself off mute and say it.
Oh, my question is, um, where you see at the where the head is located, where it says higher high, you
Yeah,
said this is where we should be getting out. So my
correct.
question is, after a break structure, like where do you know where that higher high is made? Where you like, all right, like now is the time to get out.
Great question. So on the other training with the fib, I add the minus 25%. So the fib is measured from 0 to 100. We look to retrace about that 50 to 75%. And to get 100% of this move back, since we took back 75, we get out at minus 25% on the fib. So you got to add that to your fib. All right. Another thing is it could be one candle closed above. That's a higher high. It broke the structure. That's one. So to be honest, anytime we're above is a good time to get out. But I do give y'all that extra minus 25% to get out, but that will come. You got to go look at the other class, and we'll also do that on the fifth class. So it could be as soon as it closes above, a little bit above. You could add the spread, or you're gonna use the fib. I always say use the fib because it measures 100%. We take away 75 to get back 100. We gotta go minus 25. That makes sense to everybody? Hope that answered your question. Gonna give you another thing. Right? So this is my stop loss. And let's just say I got to enter somewhere here. So this is our whole risk area. Say I enter here, and let's just say this is 1-to-1, 2-to-1. I'm getting out the trade, right? So use your risk tool. You can always say, hey, as soon as I make 1.4 to 2.0, I get out the trade. I can set my target to there. Because that meant what you risk, you just made double, right? If you risk 0.5%, you end up making 1%. That makes sense? So use your risk tool as well. If you are super new, I always say set it to 1.4 and run. Set it to 1.4 and 5 and run. Because that means you really hit your target. You probably get out doing the first little move versus having to, because mind you, price is not going to just go straight up. You're going to have to deal with some of this. I know this freaks a lot of people out, but this is what it is, right? You just have to believe in your structure, believe in the cycle flow, believe in it. Don't overextend it because then you'll probably get caught in that, especially if you're part of a switch. That's the last thing you want to do is trying to hold and milk it and be part of a switch, right? But again, we're in the uptrend. We've been making higher highs along the way, right? The first sign that your uptrend is losing momentum is when it decides to come meet the previous low and make an equal low. Remember, a healthy trend has higher lows, not equal lows. So put that in your notes. You're in the uptrend. You took your last B2C trade. You got out. Maybe as soon as it closed above, you got out at your minus 25%. You got out at your 2-to-1. And then you see price retrace. You're like, okay, I'm expecting it to retrace at least 50%, 75%. Basically, I'm looking for it to retrace back to base so I can continue buying because I assume this high is still weak. That makes sense? But when it comes all the way to the low instead of a higher low, that's my first time like, oh man, hold on. We just lost momentum. We just lost momentum. So you might get an opportunity to get a nice buy back up at this level, thinking you're going to continue to be the C, but you got to be mindful like, hey, this equal low came. That means they consider this a double bottom. And double bottoms in the masses land says, oh, that's a W. We should buy it. But they don't tell us, hey, we should actually buy when we get in high lows. We should actually be buying that. They don't tell us that. They say wait till the double bottom. But unfortunately, what happens? You're in a good uptrend. You see the uptrend's been going for a minute, and then all of a sudden you see that. You see this. What that tell you? Why would they teach the masses to wait all the way to the double bottom that happens at the top of the move? I don't see a buy. What I see is liquidity. I see, oh snap, look. I see the masses, whatever they telling everybody else to do. That's probably what we shouldn't do. And I usually draw a little eyeball in the nose when I see a double bottom, remind myself, hey, this the side of your face. They gotta give me back the side of my face. You're gonna have to, and then I could smile like, yes, you finished the cycle. Now I'm happy again. Right? You see little eyeballs. Right? Put my little nose so I can remember. And I got a frown because they ain't give me the face yet. You know. So when I see a double bottom in the after a big uptrend, I'm like, Nah, it's time for me to chill out. I'm gonna actually sit down and I'm gonna see the face is just upside down. You know, it's a little different kind of night. That's what Shawnee. This is a different kind of night. The pips after dark. Hey, I'm grown, y'all. So don't pay me no more. Right? When this closes below and goes from a higher high to a lower high, I mean a lower low and a lower high, that's a change of character. We just shifted. We now have a full ABC in the other direction. Right? 0 to A to B, B to C. Now, when this happens, now you gotta think about it. This happens when a trend been up like this. And y'all know that's our favorite move because what's gonna happen after that when we get that change? What we looking for after that? That's when that thing be dropping. But you gotta catch it at the shift. Let me know if it's making sense, the concept. That's why you gotta draw this head and shoulder pattern out for 30 days. Draw it out in your notebook for 30 days. So that way when you go to the chart, you're gonna hit me up and be like, Ty, you got me dreaming about head and shoulder patterns. I'm like, yeah, because think about it. If you can spot this at the high of the trend, and you're gonna know what to do with it. Same thing in a downtrend. A downtrend should have lower highs. It should keep getting lower and lower. But when it come back up and equals, you gotta be like, wait a minute, right? Again, going back to that picture. We've been doing this a long time. If we switch and we catch the switch, we get to take the whole ride up. Or you understand you're gonna have probably a great week of trading where you're gonna be able to catch the B to the C. You get out, if you trace while you sleep, you wake up, you're like, oh snap, again, ride number two. All right, well shoot, B to C again, let's go. Right? You'll start to see it. It'll start to make sense. And then you'll realize, okay, well, that's why my pair was good on Monday and Tuesday, but Wednesday it was no trade because they was retracing it. But then going into Thursday, Friday, that thing was moving again. And they're gonna blame it on red folders. And you're gonna be like, oh snap, I just see the structure. That red folder really was just a distraction to either make me not trade or trade too much. Let me know if it makes sense, right? That's why I don't look at red folder. Sometimes I'll be nervous, like, no, that's that old stuff they used to teach us. No, don't listen to the news. If we don't listen to it in real life, why are we going to listen to it in trading? It's my thoughts, but that's me, right? I don't look at that stuff. Red is like, Hey, you messing up with my energy. Why you putting that big red folder in my face? Get that out of here. I always want to pay attention to the structure. I just want to see my structure. So when I get my signal and it's time to take this trade, I don't want to see no red folder in my face because you're gonna probably make me not get in, and that red folder about to send me to my destination real fast. I don't want no distraction. I'm gonna just look at my structure. I don't want to. I'm not going. I don't have Twitter, so I don't know when Trump tweets anything because usually it's just gonna go with the structure because the news is in the charts. I'm not against nobody that used the red folder. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm just trying to help you understand how top pips think about things. That's all. That's all I'm trying to help you understand. Certain things scare you. All right. So now, where's the change of character in this picture? Where did the momentum say pause? Where did the shifts happen on this chart? Where did it happen? Ah, I see somebody getting it. You gotta see it. All right, everybody stop drawing for a second. Stop drawing for a second. Let's work on our drawing skills. All right. What we're gonna do is We're just gonna put a line underneath the equal lows and the equal highs because that's where the shift happens. Equal lows, equal highs. I know, that's why you're gonna get one more chance, child. Figure it out. Just get it right. If y'all notice, can y'all see? Y'all probably can't see my toolbox. Now, where's the equal highs? We got the equal lows. Where's the equal highs? Perfect. Now, let's look at the left side of this trend. Let's look at the left side, right? So we understand that as long as we kept breaking these highs, we are in an uptrend. And every time we get a new high, we have to recognize who's the new low in charge. Let me know. Hey, we broke this high. This low is in charge until this high is broken. You got a nice two spots. Hey, is price going to retrace to the key level or to the base? Those are the only two places you need to wait for your trade. Don't look for it nowhere else. Do you see what I'm saying? You got the base and the place we broke. Those are the only two places you're going to look for your trade for these buys. Does it make sense? We got 0, A. We know this is B because we have C. Now, because of that, we know this is B, the deep trade that we really wanted to come to, but we also know we have the SNR level that we broke that also might give us a base to trade from. Type of 1 if it makes sense. So when price break up high, you gotta wait, 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 wait. It might do a whole lot of craziness. Wait, 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 wait. Okay, okay, okay. Alert is going off. Let me pay attention. Let me see if they're gonna give me my break and stuff so I can get in back in this trade and break this high. I want to be patient. But if you really, really want to up your game, you'll actually wait for the trades that come back down here. Because now your stop loss is in a sexy spot. Your entry is in a sexy spot, and you get to ride this thing up. You get to get a better RR, right? So imagine if when you do take a loss, this is the only little loss you take. But when you typically win, it's like this. This little loss is going to take a whole lot to erase one win. But a lot of people not patient for that trade. They gotta be patient for it. They gotta be patient. So they're not patient enough. Because you gotta think about it. If I can learn to ride these B2Cs and get out, right? If I take the trade from here to here, let's just say this is my trade. And I'm following this uptrend and I'm being patient every time it come back. Right? This one was a B2C trade. I still took this little one. Right? This one was more of a full pullback. I took this one. And then let's just say I took this one. And then I took this one. And then boom, that's my first loss. Do y'all believe that that is possible to do? Who believes that that's pretty much how I trade? And why I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins in a row, and then I'll take a L. Then I'll be like, oh, all right, tip the broker, you got that, but I got you. All right, let's do it again. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And they got me. Hey. All right, you got that one. You got that one. It's all good. And then what's sexy, since I know we caught this entry, I'm like, guys, hold on. We holding this one. Don't let go. We're gonna hold this one. But while we holding this one, we on Tuesday, gonna take that one, Wednesday, take that one, Thursday, take that one. But that's how I trade, right? Let me know if it makes sense. I know I'm up here. But if I seen that it was like a break, a break, a break, and we getting close, I'm probably not gonna hold for a long time. I'm gonna take the one ride and get out. Let me know if it makes sense. I'm gonna get out. I'm not gonna hold because I recognize, man, we've been up for a long time, right? Because you start to see the liquidity, you start to see it, and you need to wait for this to happen. Let that ABC happen. Let that zero ABC happen out of there. And now what we waiting for, this or this trade? They gave us the ABC trade back to the base, and we in there. Eventually, they stop giving the ABC, and it kind of becomes 50%. Can y'all see it? So let me ask y'all, if we took a trade and we seen this happening for a long time, and I said, hey guys, we're gonna take this buy, should we be getting out at that minus 25%? Or sooner, right? Take it to the last high. But in this case, since we still have a good trend, we could go get out 25%. But what happens when they make a double bottom? And you like, well, man, it still could keep going because it can. But that's when I'll be like, you know what? We're gonna take it right here. You'll see me put just two TPs and that's it. Because I'm like, that's pushing it. But this still gonna be a great buy today. So we're gonna take what it's giving us. But I'm not putting 4 targets this time. It's just gonna get 2. And then if I take a trade like this and I see all of these opportunities, I'm like, guys, this gonna be the one we're gonna hold. And usually this follows up, usually red news, usually a big day, usually a holiday. And then next thing you know, they don't even give you the staircase down, right? Usually if you pay attention to the market, if you get the staircase up, you get the drop down, right? You might get this, and then they go like this, then and they come back. Let me know if you've seen it. Right? I call it the heavy bulls got to take their time climbing up the steps. And the bears are so heavy, they jump out the window and come crashing down. The bulls are heavy. That's why they take their time. The bears are just as heavy, but they jumped out the window, so they crashed. Hey, Yana, say that's so beautiful when they do that. You just ain't know how to finesse when they do that. Now you gotta say it's so beautiful when they do that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful when the Bulls make they sexy ABCs because we're just gonna get out B to C and get out. B to C, get out of there. And when you get super, super nice, you're gonna know how to take the retracement trade because you know they gotta go back, right? But beginners, go up with it. Stay out of this section. Hold if you get in early, but catch your B to Cs. It's beautiful. Because guess what? These days we had to be patient. It might took a week to hit. But when the bids jump out the window, we getting paid the same day or the next day. Let me know if it makes sense. Either way, that's beautiful too, because you should have got out at that minus 25%. You get out, Yana. Get out of there. All right, let's look at this. Just to reinforce, right? Price has a low and the first high. We don't have a trend yet. We don't know what price will do because we only got one low and one high. We need a break of structure first. So price decided to do what? Break up, right? It broke up and made a second high. So now that we got a second high, we got a second low. So what does that mean? My second level is in control. Until one of these levels get broke, we are in the buy. We're gonna still think buy because we broke up. So price tends to start making a little structure coming back down. And people get confused and they're like, hey, Todd, but it started making lower lows. No, it started making minor. It's just minor structure. Because who's in control? Second low and the second high. This is minor structure. This just has to break and do its thing to get us back to where we need to get to. It just got to go back to the base first. So it has to break to get there. Let me know if it makes sense. So it creates that nice little trap on the way down. And we like, yes, we love that because when I see you break this structure and give that new change, right? That minor change of character, right? Lower high, lower low. Now we got a higher high. We get this retest. It's game time for us. It's time to do what? Get in the trade. Because what we gonna go do? Probably break that second high to make a third high. And guess what? If you're not sure, if it starts stalling out and it's a bunch of dojis, that's a great time to get out, right? I always say when it's stalled out, get out. It's stalled out, it's finished. We already got the high, it's stalling out. We might as well get out. And now we have a third low and a third high. That's our new focus. I don't know what's happening with the markups, but everybody got that? Now we're gonna go to the right side. This is our first time getting the ABC. So we know we have an uptrend. We know we have an uptrend. We need price to retrace to either where we broke or back to the base. Everybody got that? To the second low, not the previous. This, as long as we still retrace to those levels, we are still bullish. It is not a downtrend. It is still an uptrend. Until we break this second low, the new low, then we have a switch. And at that point, that doesn't necessarily mean that price is going to tank. It just means the market just had a change, it had a shift, and we now have to start shifting our thinking. It very much can come back and retrace the previous high because it did just break it. And now it has to retrace it before it can go back down and continue this down move. But as long as we stay above these levels, we're bullish. We're not bearish yet. But if we close below this level, we are now bearish. Even if it pulls back. That was a signal. We bearish. Pay attention. Everybody got that? No. If you got that. If it makes sense. Gotta rewatch this part. It's all right. So, in this case, I had my first low and high. I'm gonna do it again, Yana. Right? Because I know it takes time, so we're gonna do it again. Type of one in the chat if you understand how much I know your brains. We're gonna do it again. So, yeah, first low, the first high. It's no trend yet. Price is pulling back. It's pulling back. It's pulling back. It's pulling back. Do we know if it's a low yet? Can we say, yes, this is the low? Can we say this is the low yet? No. We gotta break first. And then it pushed up really fast. Boom, made a second high. All right, cool. Now I could call this the second low. Because we actually got a new high. So I'm going to marry them together. You belong to you. Anybody else that come down in between of you don't mean nothing. We in control. So since we went up, we in control until somebody break below. But I'm assuming we're going to go higher. But we're going to see. Price made its way back down, made back down, made back down. It's not really a low yet. This second low still in control until we do what? What must we do to claim this to be the low? What must happen? Got to break the second high. You got it, Yana? You catching on this part? We got to break the second high and make that third high. Perfect. Now, the third high is married to the third low. Everybody in between is not in control. Truthfully, it's all consolidation in between. But we have two levels. We have the second high. Price may hit this and want to continue up because it is a key level. That's why we got to note take the highs on the way up because if it come here, it could just whoop, keep going. But we don't like these short retracement. We want how much? We don't want a little discount. We want that thing, come on down. Give me at least 50 to 75%. Really come back to the base. Come back near the third low. Right? So our arc makes sense. Now, do we know if this low is valid yet? Or is the third low still in control? Third low still in control. We don't know yet. But price broke up. We have the fourth level. Now we got the fourth high with the fourth low. Price now has different options to return to. When we see this happen, we're like, oh, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful market because we had break, retest, weak high, got broken, right? Break, retest, high got broken. This is giving me very bullish market. This is giving me very beautiful structure. This is giving me, yes, new 0 to A. All I gotta do now is wait for price to come back to my satisfactory area. You gotta at least come back 50%. You cannot, I'm not taking this one. If it come down and go up, I don't care. You can have it. I don't want it. Because where's my stop loss gonna be? Can I put my stop loss here, here? The full flow is way down here. And guess what? Your stop loss belongs under a low. Type one if you understand. Your stop loss can't be in between because you don't know where they're gonna come back to because they control the whole wall. They control this whole space. So if your stop loss is anywhere in between this space, forget about it. So if I want to take this trade, my stop loss needs to be underneath it. So if price pulls back here, and I could put my stop loss here thinking it's gonna go up, but I mean, is that safe? Like if I put it here, I'm gambling. I'm in there hoping for a prayer. I really am. I'm hoping for a prayer. Here it's a little bit better. It's 50% discount. I still don't think it's the safest. Right? I want that come below that 61.8. Come down my 75, 80. Come back to the base. I want this trade. Does this trade happen? Can anybody confirm that they've seen trades come back to the base? Can anybody confirm they've seen this happen? Boom, come back, boom, come back, boom. Can you confirm you've seen it? So if you know you've seen it, then wait for it. If it don't happen, okay, it's not your trade. Let it get there. So you can have a beautiful stop loss right underneath, and now it's tight and it makes sense. Now we get the chance to be like TP1, I'm done. TP2, okay, I'm holding on. TP3, break the high, we out of there. But if it come down and break this area, we might want to reconsider things. We might still get a buy up, but it might not last as long if it got respected, right? It may not last as long if it got respected. So again, we still bullish. We still bullish. This can very much happen too, right? This can very much happen. I'm not saying these are not good trades. What I'm saying is you can't make this your go-to trades on a regular basis. This needs to be your go-to trades, the ones that come all the way back, so you can have a great stop loss and a good RR. That should be the majority of your setups. Let me know if it makes sense on why you have to get price to come further back. You have to wait more for the discount. You need structure to have formed. You need candles to see it. We gotta have candles. All right, it's so much easy. Oh, it looks simple with the lines, but what about when it's candles? So can y'all see I marked up the highs with the lows, right? I gave y'all that market structure, support and resistance training. If you'd have been working on that training, this part of the classes would have made so much more sense now. It'll start, I told y'all, work on those things. Work on that. So when you come to class, it'll make more sense. Right? Uptrend, we notate the highs. The uptrend, it's an uptrend. We're gonna notate the highs. Everybody got that? First high, second high, third high, fourth high, fifth high, sixth high. On the way up, I notated the very last low that we're working with. And I put the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth low. Now, usually I don't make you draw the bottom, but for training your eye purposes tonight, I'm just gonna help you understand why the importance of the highs versus marking up the lows and the uptrend. Okay? As you're marking up these highs, they become your areas to look for your continuation trades, right? But sometimes it don't align perfectly. That's why I say you have to be fluid. You're gonna have what I call the ABC trade, right? Where it goes up, it comes back down to the base. If it don't come at least past that 75 to 80 and come back to the base, it's not a full ABC trade. And we're looking to do this. And then we have the S&R trade. There's a line, price breaks it, we look for price to get on top of it, and we look to continue. That's the S&R trade. Right? So if I look at this piece right here, it broke the level. It came back to the S&R level that it broke and continued up. But isn't that also a 0 to A, come back to the base? Now we put all three together, right? Imagine that when all three goes together. It's like, wait, hold up, 0 to A, back to the support level. Look for my entry here. I'm looking to take out that high, right? Because this is a key level. Look how nicely it lined up for us to take the buy here. After this pushed up, did it come back to that level? This is 0 to A, came back down, closed back above. This is our trade to take it back up to the fourth high again, right? Just understanding where your levels are. But this example, I'm going to show y'all the shift. But the first thing you had to notate, hey, this was the last high, and we got the sixth high, right? So this low right here just pushed up. We got this low right here. When price closed below, this is telling us, hey, we might be having a shift, change of character level. If we break below this third high, that's a sell level. I marked the second high as a sell level. Now, it got these other lows in the middle, but these are super key, right? This starts to crowd your chart a little bit. But if you knew that these key high levels is really the zones, you'll feel better. I'm going to go to the next slide. Again, we officially have a change of character. This pulled back. It broke this high, made a higher high. It's closing back in. But can we say we're in a sell trend yet? Can we say we're in a downtrend yet is the key. Even though it closed below this level, are we in a downtrend yet, guys? Not yet. Why not? What do we need to see to know, okay, yeah, we're in a downtrend? What do we need to see? Why don't y'all show me on the chart a little bit? Let's see if y'all can show me on the chart a little bit. Yeah, I like whoever did that right there. This right here. All right, I want to see something like this. Break that thing, come up, right? Something like that. But all of those are valid. This, that's valid. All of those little movements. All right. So, but we need that to happen. Great job, y'all. So, can we see what happened? Who predicted it right? Who predicted it correctly, right? Because when you can predict the story and then you wait and it show up, it's so amazing. It's so amazing. But we got that little small ABC. That's a good sign. So let's do a little work, right? Hey, they broke that structure. Do we have a master candle for a base? Right, we got this master candle here. Right, got a little master candle up here. Because they want to come back to that. It even got to come back to two places. You got to come back and hit my breaker structure level that we broke. Or you got to come back to one of my bases. Everybody got that? Everybody got it? It makes sense? Makes sense? Can we just sell from right here? It's a master candle right here, though. Should we sell from right here? Should we sell, right? You got to make pimp decisions ahead of time. If price was to close below here, I'm not selling. Because where am I putting my stop loss? in the middle of this brick wall? Should my stop loss go here, here, here? Where am I gonna put it? That's not your trade. You say that's not your trade. I only am allowed to trade after 0 to 8, a big expansion move. You gotta come back at least to where you broke or to my bases. Make sense? No retest, no trade. Can price break out of this master candle and tank? Yes or no? Can that happen? Yes. And you're not gonna be upset. You're gonna be like, cool, that's nice. Because guess what's gonna happen? The next time you see it happen, you're gonna take it, and then it's gonna go like this and hit your stop loss. So you're just gonna, everything is not for us. Everything is not for us. Right? Make sense? Everything is not for us. Boom. But this for us, right? Is this for us? Is this what we want to see? Let me know. Put a 7 in the chat if this one is for us. Be like, yes, you're doing what I want you to do. You're doing what I want you to do. Because if I could see the change of character, I could actually be part of the first B2C wave, right? We could actually be part of the first B2C wave. I'd rather us take a chance because think about it. It's not gambling when you use proper risk and you got an advantage. Because in all reality, did it come back to the base and get the keys? Did it come back and get the keys? Yes. It came back to get the keys. So the Bulls are in control right now, right? The buyers is all opening up top. We know we at a key level. They failing right now. They didn't make a higher high. It's a lot of wick rejection at the fifth high. We chilling right now at the fourth high. We got a change of character. We at the retest. If I now have an opportunity to put my stop loss somewhere up here and enter somewhere here, are we in a good position? Can you actually feel like you can go to sleep at night and be like, you know what, I can go to sleep. My trade, got my stop loss right there. Yeah, I could just chill now. I don't think I'm having much anxiety. Oh, but what about the people who got in down here? They got a lot of anxiety. As soon as that thing broke, they have anxiety, or they may be stopped out. But we waited. We waited. We chilling. And we still ain't get in yet because we didn't have the sellers take over. The buyers open and are still in control. Right. And then our signal came in there. Y'all see the signals in there? We in that trade. We could have been part of the first B2C wave. We could have been part of the first. We could have been part of the first. Right. But I'm gonna show you what it looked like to enter up there. That's what it looked like. We got that first signal. I want y'all to see the master candle right on top of our key level. That's that fourth high. Right? I'm zoomed in so y'all can see what I'm seeing right at that level. You see the first signal? And then we would have entered. Can y'all see it? Boom, nice master candle right at the key level. Boom, inside this other master candle. We right here. Signal. Had a couple chances to get in. Now this signal, that dropped a little low. I don't really like that one. But we so high up on the change of character, I'm not even mad at this entry. My stop loss is above in a sexy spot. We're not really mad at that particular entry. But can we see that we got the signals at a really nice spot? Can you see it? Is it making sense? Now we got in that signal. That red folder was out that day. Hey, everybody, it's a red folder today. We don't know nothing about a red folder. All we know is, hey, we at the key level and we got our signals and we're looking to continue to at least the next level. We already cracked the third high. Are we going to the second key level? Was it a coincidence that they dropping really fast out the window? Did they give us a new 0 to A? So whoever asked that question, hey Tom, when you know when to get out, do you think this is clear enough to say, hey, we broke the low. It's definitely time to get out. We definitely, yeah, that's a lower low for sure. I think we don't got no confusion on. It's time to get out. We done look how many levels we went through. Right, all these little levels in the middle, but we just focused on these main quarter levels. You see them? Like we going right to those levels. So, what do y'all think is gonna happen next? We just closed back above the second high. What is the odds of us going back to the third high? What is the odds of us needing to go back to the new base? Woo! Now, this is a retracement trade worth taking, yes or no? Now, this is the type of retracement trade like, okay, I could take this, that 50 to 75% retracement. We could take that. I think, but again, the real trade was up here. The real trade is wait for it to come back to where it broke or to the base. Oh, snap. Look at it. Where it went. Who would have just took it from zone second high to zone third high? Just thinking about zone to zone. Right? You're gonna understand when I said put your levels, guys. Them key levels is gonna change your life. And then you also understand the ABC. You understand how we had to break. And they are telling us where they want to go. They said we're gonna sell, but first we gotta come and retrace. Now we just closed above the third high. Who thinks we're going to the fourth high? Who thinks it? What is the odds, now that you understand what's happening, that we're gonna go back to the fourth high since we closed above the third? What's the odds? Give me your number in the chat. What's the odds? 10%, 30%, 50%, 100%. I don't see no answers in the chat. 75, 75, 75, 50, 75. Basically, it's pretty high. Us understanding structure. And the thing is, I've back tested enough to where I'll be like, how about more like 80, 90%? How about more like 80, 90%? Right? But you're gonna have to back test this enough to believe in these levels. You're gonna have to believe it enough. Oh, it broke. It was respecting that third house smack right into the fourth. Back to the base. They had to go back and get the keys. Now, who's excited about the next trade coming up? If you had to predict what was gonna happen next, I want you to draw on the chart. I want you to draw on the chart what you think after understanding what we just learned on what's coming next. What's coming next? So you think they might break up above first, maybe? You think they might want to whip the fifth high again too? Maybe sweep some people a little bit? Yes, yes. But we all understand we are really looking for this sell, right? Now, it can buy, but overall, understanding the story, and we understand we only got two ABCs. We're on ABC number 3. So are we still early in this trend? Yes or no? Are we still early in the trend? Right? Understanding the story, putting it all together. Yes, we're early. We're still early. And they just made some loud noise. They just said, listen to me, listen to me. Now, that's where the next critical stage comes in. Where are you needing price to close for you to get in the sell? You gotta know things ahead of time. We don't just guess. We know what we want to do. I need you to tell me, where is our sell entry gonna be at? Think about the levels. It needs to close somewhere in particular. How am I going to give you a number? What if I said, hey, we need price to sell under this number? It have to close below this number for us to get in the trade. Where would that level be at? Think levels. Think levels. Now, a lot of people are pointing to the most ideal spot. They're pointing to the spot that, yes, if I had my choice, I want to sell as high as I could at the very top. Oh, at the very top. But is the candles giving us a signal there? Can you for sure say, yep, they're not going to keep busting through? Can you really sell from there? Where does it make sense? Let's go, my baby Toya. Listen, guys, you see this third high? We're gonna need to close below this baby. This fourth zone to the third zone, as long as we above it, is buy mode. We can't do nothing above this. Now, if price went above here and then close below, then we got it. Make sense? This level, we got to get back under here to sell again. Yes, this is here. Yes, it's a super snipe. We could probably go to the 1 minute time frame, find it, but I want to teach y'all the right way, the right zone way. We're above it. We're above the third high. We can't trust that this ain't just another touch. We can't trust this. Why didn't I give you my pencil? We can't trust that they won't do this again. We can't trust that. Nah, show me you for real. Close. Oh, that look crazy, Tom. I was turning into something else. But do y'all see it? We close below. That's the proper answer. Right? Third level. Above it is buy zone. Below it, we sell. Everybody got it? You see it? Look at it. Hey, close below. And look what it did. Right? It gave you nice break and retest. Another 0 to A. It came back to A broke. Gave you a beautiful master. We're underneath here. Where we going? Second, first. Why is it going so fast? Oh, it's so beautiful, y'all. Can you see it? Can you see the ABC? And our beautiful stop loss is up here chilling. It's up here chilling. And we chilling. Boom, it closed below stop loss right here now. Now this whole zone is a bag secured. Boom, we close below this. All right, this is a hold. Now we got 2 levels secured. All right, boom, it hit this. All right, now we got 3 levels secured. Maybe now it might be time to take the bag and run. Let me know if that makes sense. Right? Secure each level. But how do you know what is secure if you don't know what a level is? Make sense? Because guess what? Look how it came all the way back to the base. After it broke, it gave you a whole other ABC. So with the A, did it go back to the base where it came from? Do you think it's going to sell some more? Are we still in sell mode? If it closed back below the second level, are we going to sell again? Is it starting to make sense? Came all the way back to the base. Do you think if this week is low, we're going to crack this one if the trend is still early? Because I mean, we still kind of early. Where it ended up going? It ended up going all the way. I had to go back to show y'all where it went to. It had to go all the way back to the next level and broke that one too. And we just had to do the work the first time on the way up. So can you imagine now that we have, it will be time to clean this up. So since we murdered all the levels going up, now we have all these new levels coming down. We clean up our chart and now we see if they start going back up the other levels. Let me know if it makes sense. Right? We just used the structure that they built, they shifted, and we went right along with it. And our best trades would be us waiting for price to come back to those yellow bases like they did. Anybody have any questions at this point? Anybody have any questions? Oh, good. Well, that was a lot. That was a lot, right? Fine, just breathe through it. Breathe through it. So if I was you guys, right, I would probably go back to the support and resistance video and see if you know how to properly put your SNR levels like I was telling y'all to do, right? Do you know how to put it on every higher high? It's an uptrend. It belongs to every higher high. Just focus on that higher high for the uptrend because when they start closing back below those levels, you want to take advantage, right? Your goal is to take advantage. Man, look at that key level. If it closed below back there, I probably could take that one down to the next one. You know, gonna make my life easy. I'm gonna see when do they make the ABC. When do they start changing the direction? Do I see the moments when the ABCs come perfectly back to the retest zone where I can take my trade? When they break one level, do I know which other level it's going to? Right? That's what we did. Boom, 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 boom. Wait for the ABC to happen. This was a little funky moment right here. Funky moment. But this technically was the last hot area. This was where we got our shift. Change of character shift. Right? Left shoulder, head, coming back into the right shoulder. This is the previous left shoulder. Are we back into it for right shoulder? Right? Left shoulder. Are we back closing below? Right? We just going from level to level, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So if they close back above this, y'all gonna know what to do. If it closes back above this level, are you gonna know what to do? And look how beautiful that was. We literally put 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. It's a little ABC move. It's a perfect example. 0 to A to B, back to the key level, and it's a full retracement. My stop loss right here. 25% exit or exit the 15-minute level. See it? ABC plus SNR. Yeah, I think we could just start right there. Like, what else we need? We don't need nothing else.